cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester.
And so I think it's important that you understand the clinical trial process. I'm not saying that the pill is bad. I just want you to think about how to make health decisions for yourself. You want to be especially vigilant, especially staying on top of it. Once I got the information I needed, I started to move in that direction about how to make health decisions for yourself.
In your mind, what would you say to brothers that's not vaccinated or just people in general?
I'm glad to hear you are protected, and thanks for being so honest here on Keeping It 100, because that's what we do. Hey, welcome to another lovely episode of Keeping It 100 with Dr. Kristen Motley and Georgie, the street practitioner. Always good to see y'all good people. Just want to say something really quickly before we get started. In case you did not know, you are watching an award-winning podcast. This is not just any podcast coming in off the street. This is award-winning, certified platinum gold podcast living over here. G.
Hey.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. I was accepting of the award.
Can you give us your acceptance speech?
Redo my speech. Yeah, I think I want to redo my speech. I should have wrote another one, and then we just should have just like redid it because it caught me off guard. But I said some good things, and shout out to CMP for kicking it off and
CMP.
Just the tradition and just starting this whole thing, man. Just looking forward to another 5. You know, Pierre started with his dream and just picked up with the whole community. And he the voice of the community now. So it felt good to, accept it. Black folks was in the building looking good.
Yes. And thanks for holding it down for the podcast.
Yeah, he was on the road.
I don't even know where I was, but thanks for holding it down and accepting the award on behalf of Team Keeping It 100. But yes, as always, we are here to share the latest and greatest in health information for our community. Dr. Tyan Thomas is on the ones and twos in the background, making sure you get your questions and concerns addressed in the chat. So give us some love in the chat and make sure that you ask questions as we're talking about different topics today. We don't have a guest today, but we have a lot of important information to talk about. So make sure you drop your questions in the chat. G, what you been up to?
Just talking to folks, just trying to get people back acclimated into their health systems and dynamics and all that. Talk to a lot of brothers, though, about prostates. And it's uncomfortable at first, but now, I'm getting the hang of it.
So we went to a prostate cancer event last night. Shout out to Local 413, Mark Freeman, James Harper Jr., or is he the third? I don't know. But James Harper. They sponsor a prostate cancer screening for men. They had a urologist and a surgeon there doing the prostate checks. And they were, they did a lot to pull that event together and to get the men to come out. So shout out to all the men that got their prostates checked last night. You said it's hard to talk about that?
Well, for men, like it's definitely hard for me, but it's just something that's part of what we need to be doing and be aware of. So, if we want to see our kids finish growing up and our grandchildren and just want a healthier lifestyle, we got to start entertaining it.
Let's dig a little deep. What's hard about the conversation, the prostate cancer check conversation?
We keep talking about the stigma, but, a lot of men don't go to the doctors until we have to or until there's something wrong. So things that we should be doing, especially once we hit a certain age, it's hard. Like, just the whole process of the prostate, the way they check you, all that. So it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And, talking about men and women have this challenge too, not going to the doctors and not staying on top of stuff. As a follow-up to our conversation last week, you had told me that you stopped taking your blood pressure medicine.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have no refills and you ain't been to the doctors. And so you told me that you would make your appointment, and this week you would let me know when that appointment is.
I did say that. See, that what I love about our show is that it's real, and we don't fake it, and we just I'm like still working and training as far as working on my health and things I need to do, and I actually didn't make it, Doc. So
that ain't funny.
I'm not really laughing. I just because I forgot about it. No, I really did.
Why you say you're not really laughing? You should have watched.
No, I don't mean I'm laughing like it's a joke. I mean, it's just like, wow, it just caught me off guard. Like I was supposed to make that appointment.
This is what happens to health. This is what happens. You don't pay attention to it until you sitting up in the ER, until you can't get out the bed, until it's too late.
Right.
And that is the thing. Health is a thing that you have to pay attention to every single day, because all these jobs we got, all this running, all this partying, all this fun we have, none of that is going to matter when we're not here to enjoy it, or when we here to enjoy it but we suffering and we struggling because we had a stroke or a heart attack and can't walk and can't talk. That's so true. None of this other stuff matters if we don't take care of our health. And I'm talking to myself too. Right. Like it is priority. And I'm disappointed
in myself because I really meant to do it. I wasn't even procrastinating. But like what I'm getting out the message is the same way we prioritize, like put everything in priority mode or whatever. We got it. That has to be number one, or we won't be able to do anything. All the hats we wear won't really matter, like you said, if we're not taking care of our health.
So what time is it? It's 4:40. I think Chest Pain closed at 5. So I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to put you on lunch break.
I thought you was going to have me call while we was on the air.
You going to call. I'm going to let you go out in the hallway with your hall pass, and I'm going to carry us until you get back in here.
Oh, come on.
Because it's not a joke. And I know you're taking it seriously, but I know how you get busy and you don't have time. And so now you have time. So I'll see you in a couple minutes.
I'll be right back.
All right, y'all. Okay. So let's go over. We've been busy. We've been in the streets. G been working. I want to just give a shout out to Murphy AME. They actually had me come in and speak to their at their breast cancer event on Saturday, and we have a quick little video of me up on the pulpit. I just didn't even know I was about to get on the pulpit. I thought they was gonna put me just in front of the church with a microphone. I done went all the way up, and I thought I was about to preach. I was like, listen, I ain't here to preach. I ain't gonna hold y'all long. But it was a real good event. We had a really good time there. Got a lot to say to the women about the importance of the breast cancer screenings. We are definitely going to talk about that today and make sure that you know when to get your screening done and you know what's involved in the screening. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Also want to mention that we were at the Black Equity Coalition's Health and Wellness event in Aston, Pennsylvania. George was out there doing his thing. Nurse Lisa was there. It was a rainy day. As y'all know, it rained Saturday, so we didn't get a whole lot of people that came out, but the people that came got what they needed. That was a good day too. Got a couple pictures from that event. That was on Saturday. So it was 2 events Saturday. We was definitely running. On Sunday, we partnered with Catholic Social Services in Chester, right over town. They had a community baby shower. And was that Saturday or Sunday? Oh, that was Sunday. Yeah. It was a lot of people that came out. I felt like it was over 200 people there. A lot of pregnant women there. We had babies, which was amazing. They came out and they got car seats and diapers. It was food. It was a lot of fun. They handed me the mic. Of course, I had to go in on some COVID vaccine education, talk to participants about that. We actually gave some flu shots and some COVID shots. A lot of people got both. It was a good day. One thing that was a little bothersome to me was that a number of pregnant women said that they came up and talked to me after I talked about the importance of pregnant women getting vaccinated against COVID. They talked about the fact that their doctor hadn't even talked to them about that. And so that was a little troubling. only because these people don't know me from a can of paint. So they are not going to like just do something because I told them to do it. But I'm just wondering why their own healthcare providers aren't talking to them about this. So that if they would have heard it from them and then they hear it from me and I'm there with the vaccine, they may have been more likely to get vaccinated, as opposed to saying, I don't even know you like that and my doctor is not even telling me to get vaccinated. So that makes my job a little harder, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on keeping on. So that was our weekend recap. Really quick, just want to let you all know we have an event coming up, and we'll talk about that more over the next few weeks. But we have an event coming up on November 11th. It'll be at CCSA right on Highland Avenue, 1500 Highland Avenue, a huge health conference, the Healthier You Conference. If you have known me for years, you've known I've done this event for a number of years. This is the first time we're coming back after COVID. It's an amazing day of health and wellness and just love. We're going to have about at least 12 workshops. We'll have fitness demos, cooking demos. We'll have a keynote. We're in the process of booking our keynote speaker now. We'll have a few celebrities on site. Lamar Todd just confirmed that he will be the MC for the opening ceremony. So it's a real nice event. You don't want to miss it. And shout out to all of our sponsors so far: Black Equity Coalition, Insight Pharmaceuticals, and Local 413, our headliner sponsors. It's going to be amazing, and because of the support that our sponsors bring, there will not be any fees. You will not have to pay anything. It's a free event to the community. Just make sure if you register, you come, because we don't have no money to waste. So please come out. Registration isn't open yet. It'll be open in a few weeks. Just save the date for now, November 11th, all day that Saturday. It's going to be fun. All right, so just real quick, want to talk about COVID really, really quick. So cases are going up. We want to make sure that you know, if you have not heard, there is a new vaccine available. You may be wondering, it's not new, it's just updated. So there's an updated COVID vaccine available, and you may be wondering, why we got to get another shot. Well, a number of reasons. One, your protection goes down over time. So it starts, so you start with the vaccine, and after 2 weeks, you get a nice level of protection, and it stays there. But over time, it fades, and the protection that you grow or that started when you first got the shot is not at the same level as it was down the line, months or a year later. And so that's one reason why we have to make sure that we stay up to date on the vaccines and get a new shot. Right now, it may be annual, but COVID is in charge, and we just have to follow what the virus is doing. So one reason is because your protection does not last forever like it does for other vaccines. And one reason for that is because the virus changes. So it's always changing. You may hear about the word mutation or variant. And so they are different over time. It changes over time. And so the updated vaccine is always going to provide protection against the latest variant that was in circulation when the decision was made that we need to make a new vaccine. And so the updated vaccine that became available last week is protection against the latest variant of COVID that was in high population when the decision was made to make a new vaccine. And so it provides good protection against that particular variant and the new variant that's out. It's always going to be a new variant. And what you want to make sure is that the version you have in your system is catching the version of the vaccine that is going around. So the version of the vaccine that you have, you want to match that to the version of the virus that's going around. So it's time to get a new vaccine if you haven't gotten one. And a lot of people didn't get the last updated vaccine that became available last fall. So it's only one dose. Oh, and wait a minute, for my people that didn't get vaccinated yet at all, who have not gotten even one dose of vaccine, it's not too late. It's not too late to catch up. And the good news for you is that you'll only get one dose of vaccine. You won't need to get 2 shots like those who got vaccinated early did. You only need to get 1 shot. The assumption is that because it's been 3 years or so, you probably already had COVID, so you have some antibodies floating around somewhere in there, and so you only need one additional shot to make sure you have the protection to protect you against what could be a pretty crazy cold flu season. So G just walked back in. He holding his head down. I don't know if he happy or if he's sad, but we'll find out. How'd it go?
Not bad. They said April next year.
April?
No, I'm just playing.
I was about to say, who I got a call over?
October 30th.
All right, October 30th, day before Halloween.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad. Good job.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found time to do that.
Yeah. Huh?
Prostate. You don't want to say the word prostate?
It's not for prostate, brother.
You don't like saying the word prostate?
It's not for. It's not for prostate.
Yo, we gotta break through this.
It's a checkup, bro. Cause
they can take our blood and check our prostate. I'll be good with that. Why you gotta stick your finger in my butt?
Why you gotta stick your finger in my butt? Well, the good Lord can answer that question.
Right? That is true though. Why is that the only way that we could be checked for that?
Because the prostate gland is in that area. Oh man, this is a whole thing.
Yes,
I did
bitch.
not know. Look at y'all faces. Y'all like, oh, we gotta do a whole thing on prostate. I didn't know.
I told you my son wanted to do a podcast talking about prostate. I told you to come.
Right.
I didn't know it was a whole thing.
Almost 45, bro. You gotta get checked.
So listen, this is the thing with prostate cancer in men. And my dad, my uncle, and my grandfather all had prostate cancer.
Wow.
My uncle had prostate cancer and he didn't quite follow up on his doctor's appointments, and he is not here anymore. And he was my uncle, like that man. Like he taught me so much, and he is not here anymore from prostate cancer. My dad caught it early. He got his treatment. He's home right now. He might be watching. Hey, Dad.
What's going on, bro?
My mom, if anybody know my mom, she is is on it. So he went to all his appointments. Let's just say that. So I didn't know that prostate was a thing, but it's a thing, especially for black men. It disproportionately impacts black men, number one. And black men are more likely to die from prostate cancer than anybody else. And I'm looking at y'all faces, and now I'm understanding why. Because it's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
So we definitely going to talk about that at the conference. I'm going to make a note.
Who's putting their finger in my butt? Why are you putting, how deep you gotta go, right?
And why is that the only way that you can, like...
Because the prostate gland is in that area, and that's where they have to feel if it's big or not. It's other ways, and the other ways is when you got blood coming out your urine, and they like, okay, something is really wrong, and you getting checked, and then by then it could have spread by then.
Always blood in your urine.
It's not always blood in your urine.
It's yellow.
We gonna talk off the air about that. All right, y'all messed me up because I guess I never really talked to a guy about prostate before. I haven't even talked to Bilal about it. But anyway, this is what I was gonna say. Black men die younger of prostate cancer than anybody else, and they get diagnosed younger than anybody else when it's actually checked. And so, although the recommendation is for men to get, it used to be 50, they changed it to 45. In general, but black men should really be getting screened for prostate cancer before, like probably in their 40s, like early 40s, maybe in their 30s, because more black men are being diagnosed with prostate cancer earlier, and you have a higher risk of dying because of all the structural racism and blah, 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 blah. So you really need to be taking this seriously, this prostate cancer thing. And I don't know, we got to bring Dr. Walls in, or we got to bring somebody in to talk to y'all about the barrier that you have against prostate cancer screenings.
I need a female doctor to check it. I'm not letting no man.
Oh, you just need a female doctor, and it's all good.
And what, they put you to sleep?
Gotcha.
No.
No, you don't
What?
get put to sleep.
Oh.
You think they put somebody to sleep last night in Local 413? We was
But
there.
they wasn't
They
checking
were
nobody's
checking.
booty.
They were checking for prostate. They went into a room with the doctor.
I thought they was.
They
Oh.
wasn't doing no blood work. What's wrong with you?
Yo, the brother that was doing that.
Didn't you see the doctor there?
I didn't go see that doctor. I mean, I talked
Saw
to them.
him. He was checking prostates.
Oh, I did not. I thought. Listen. Yo.
Listen, but the men that got checked are going to find out if they have any problems or not.
Wow.
And the men that didn't get checked are not going to find out, and they may find out when it's too late.
They put the lube on that joint.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what about colonoscopy?
Colonoscopies. I'm learning more about these. These are blowing my mind.
I'm gonna get one.
So thank you. Does it have to be a male?
But you
doctor
get
that
put
do
to
it?
sleep for that.
You do get put to sleep.
Okay.
For it. So
Female doctor anywhere below.
I know a good female doctor that do good colonoscopy. She did.
She gotta look nice too. I can't know
Hey, let's keep it on. Keep it real
Listen,
on 100.
Here is what I learned about colonoscopies that was just it just blows my mind. So colon cancer is a slow cancer. It takes a long time to grow. So it takes a long time for the cancer to grow. So most people will start get screened at the age of 50, and then you get screened every 10 years because it can take 10 years for the cancer to grow.
Wow.
It grows in the form of a polyps. So if the doctor finds any polyps in your colon when they're doing the screening, they'll cut them out. And then they'll send them to the lab. And the lab will say the polyps wasn't a problem or the polyps could have been a problem. It could have been a problem in 10 years, in 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. And then you go back every 5 to 10 years, depending on if you had polyps that were found that could have been cancer later. So that's why colon cancers, you only get screened every 10 years because it grows so slowly, and they cut the polyps out as soon as they see them before they can become a problem. If you don't get it done, you're letting the cancer just go, grow, and then it starts to spread.
Wow.
And so I just love how slow it grows because that shows how preventable it is. If you just get your colon cancer check done once every 10 years for people that don't have a problem, you can prevent yourself from ever having colon cancer. It's so preventable, but we are not getting our colon cancer screenings done. You don't start till you're 50. And again, this is another one that impacts black people more than everyone else because we're not getting them done.
But they do put you to sleep. I'm just.
I say all that, and you won't say
No,
yes. You
right.
are asleep.
Okay. Right.
You are asleep.
Okay. Right.
So Bilal got his done because his mom actually died of colon cancer when she was 30.
Oh yeah, I remember.
She
you
had
saying
4
that.
kids, and she passed away of colon cancer when she was 30 years old. So him and his siblings have been getting theirs done. They have to go every 5 years.
Right.
Because of their family history.
Wow.
Now, have they been going every 5 years? Lord, don't let me call none of them out.
Okay.
But that's what the recommendation is, every 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they do pretty good.
I'm going to see Dr. Flynn tomorrow.
You going to go see Dr. Flynn?
Okay, P. Shout out to Dr. Flynn.
Good job. Hey, Dr. Flynn.
Talk to me about all them checks and stuff.
Talk to him about all your checks, your age, like look at your age and when he recommends, just kind of based on your health history, based on your age and your family history, when should you start getting these screenings done? You can ask him to do your prostate cancer check tomorrow in the office while you're there. Let me know how that goes. He can do it for you.
He's not mentally prepared for that. He's not ready.
I just thought
And
I'd
he
throw
just
that out.
told you he need a female.
There's got to be a female
He just told you he had to be
He
a
gonna put a
female.
wig on.
No.
Nah. Oh no, that make it worse.
Oh, that's gonna make never
make it
mind.
worse.
I done said
Nah, don't do my brother. Nah,
Just act
nah.
like I didn't say that. This show
Nah.
about to go a whole different direction.
Right,
Let's
right.
just
It's cool.
let's act like okay. So prostate cancer for men, definitely at 40 for black men at 40, maybe earlier. We just gotta know your family history for sure. Colon cancer at 50. Let me make sure. They change the years as they get new information. Oh, it's 45 now. Colon cancer is 45. My bad, y'all. 45 for colon cancer. That means I got to do mine in like 3 years. Okay, I'm cool with that. Maybe earlier if you have any risk factors, and then breast cancer at 40 for women. So breast cancer at 40 for most women. Talk to your OB or your PCP about getting your mammograms done. Okay. But cancers are killing us at higher rates than everybody else, and it doesn't need to. We have got to get our screenings. We cannot wait until it has spread, it has gotten all over the place before we start trying to do something.
That's true.
It's just, it don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. Although I know insurance keeps us from doing things, but there's a lot of free services available. You got to tap into those free services. They are out there. Don't let that be a thing that keeps you from getting your screenings done. Time, I know it takes time. You got to call, like you got to carve some time out. I had to send G on a lunch break, but talk to your boss. Say, hey, can I get a lunch break so I can call and schedule some appointments? Like, carve that time out and put yourself first, because all this other stuff you're doing, it's not going to matter if you are not here, or if you're not here in a way that allows you to enjoy it.
True, but the key is the benefits, Doc. I mean, I just feel like, even though we got this stigma and all that, I know a lot of brothers that don't have insurance. And even though they can go to the free clinic for basic checkups, they don't cover those type of screenings and checkups and, colonoscopies and all that. You still have to have money. So
when you go in a chest pen and you ask if you need to get a colonoscopy and they say you do, they're going to provide you with some resources. Okay. They're not going to leave you hanging. You got to have those conversations, but you got to get in the door.
Right.
You got to get in the door. And a lot of the health centers, they have foundations attached to their services where they can support people that don't have insurance. And maybe you don't have the $10,000 that it costs to do it, but perhaps they have some funding to support it, and you may have to spend $100.
Right.
Is $100 worth getting it done, getting those polyps out of your colon before they turn into cancer, and you end up having a real $10,000 issue?
Right. That's true. I just know that a lot of brothers, like even talking to them when I was expressing all these things and issues that that we have to deal with, that was a big thing. Like you heard what P said. He got insurance now. Yeah. Like I remember when P didn't have insurance.
He was out in these streets uninsured.
He probably wouldn't be going crazy tomorrow and having everything. He wouldn't feel comfortable if and making appointments if he didn't have insurance. So right.
Yeah.
So that's a deep conversation, and we probably need to let's dig into some of the organizations that can help sponsor these brothers, and like myself and certain brothers that don't have insurance.
Well, let's get a list. Let's get a list going. Who don't have insurance? Who want to go to the doctor? Let's get a list.
Okay.
I don't want the excuses. Like I don't want.
No, I'm not really. No, I'm really not though.
Not from you, but from everybody. Like I don't have insurance, I can't go. No, that's not true. Because there's resources out there. It's an easy
out though, Doc.
You got it is an easy out, but not when I'm talking to them, because
that's true.
It's not a thing.
Right.
Like you don't have insurance, okay. I'm gonna send you somewhere that can still help you anyway.
Right.
So let's start the sick and shut-in list.
Okay.
And we're going to figure out.
It's going to reach a million, like about 1,000
I don't care.
people.
I'm going to take 1,000 and I'm going to help 1,000. As long as the Lord give me the resources to direct people to a place where they can get what they need.
Right. I would love to be a part of that, though, because I feel like now we're part of the solution. Because we always going to come up with the problem.
Yeah.
Even if it's suitable for us or not, we good at finding the problem. But that's a great deal, and I would love to be a part of that mission.
Sick and shut in list. Let's go. G, let's pull out your clipboard and your pen. I need names and numbers and at least zip codes so I can figure out where they are.
I'll start asking these brothers what's their age group, and we'll be able to start finding what screenings they ready for and qualify for that age group.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to go into plan B.
I'm done with the excuses. I can't. I'm tired of seeing our name at the top of all these lists. We the high likely to do this, highest likely to do that. Yeah. We got to take advantage of our resources and not just say I don't have, because there are there is support out there, and so
Right.
now you're gonna get connected to the support,
right.
and we're gonna start working on it.
Let's go. I'm serious though.
All right.
That's good news though.
Yeah. I was talking a little bit about COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You been talking about that at all?
Oh yeah. I mean, the cases is up. They all over the city. A city near you, a block near you, a house near you, job near you.
Not the house.
They all over. So I mean, again, it was coming from the conversation about that the vaccinations are wearing off. You know, those who were protected before, it's time to get the updated version. You know, and the case is definitely up. Like a lot of people at the school and my job, and and I mean people that's been vaccinated and boosted, but it's time for the updated version. And I would just recommend, even if the folks, if you even didn't get the first one, let's get the ball rolling so we can catch up and prevent it, because we don't want it to go back into the plague info, going into that direction.
We ain't doing that. We ain't going back to the cemetery.
I'm telling y'all right now, like they keeping an eye on all our communities, and the COVID cases are up, and it's starting to be a red flag.
So if a person, this is a pop quiz time for George. Let's see if he listens to anything that we be talking about. If a person has not gotten one dose of the vaccine yet, how many doses do they get with the catch? Like now, like if it's their first time getting vaccinated against COVID,
well,
how many shots they gotta get?
They would still have to start with the initial shot, right?
Yeah, they just get one.
Yeah.
So they just gonna get one shot. They don't need to get two,
right.
Just one shot. Now he answered my question with a question, y'all. So I don't know if I'm gonna
No, but I knew it. I mean, I knew that's what I was basically saying. I knew that you can't get both at the same time. But you just have to start the process at the beginning and follow through. So you would get your first shot, and then
that's it.
3 months or whenever the next one is, or whatever.
When the next one come out,
right?
Then you get the next
one.
one.
No facility or organization or wherever you getting the shot, it should not be giving you two at a time.
No, so for people that have not gotten the vaccine at all, you're only going to get one, so you don't have to worry about getting two shots anymore. So please consider it if you have not. If you have questions or concerns, we're always available to help. But I also wanted to, I know P had to step out, but we might not be able to get her picture up, but I wanted to send our condolences to the Mandela family. Nelson Mandela's granddaughter, Zalika Mandela, passed away on Monday. She was only 43 years old. Last week we talked about Irish Grinstead from the R&B singing group 702 passed away when she was 43 years old last week. And so this is I don't know, it's just hitting so close to home, these young ladies that's like my age passing away. So condolences to Zalika Mandela's family. She had breast cancer. She was diagnosed in her 30s, I believe. She was in remission for some time, and it came back. She had some other health challenges as well, but this just goes to, to say you need to be checking your breasts. You need to know how they look, how they feel on a consistent basis, at least once a month. I need to do better at that as well, at checking at least once a month, and then also getting your mammograms every year, especially after you're 40. So once a year mammograms for most women, unless your doctor tell you can wait. But I believe for most women, you are going to get a mammogram at least once a year. So doing those things, catching these diseases early so that, and then staying on top of them too, to make sure that you good.
Right. I mean, one thing to add to it is that like technology is like 10 times better from when it, like from 20 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, it's like, I feel I've trusted like the whole system as far as getting checked, being treated, and still being able to live a healthy life.
Yeah.
So.
And it helps when you do these things early, not catching them when you are in pain, when you hurt, something wrong, you in the ER. It's so important. It's so incredibly important to do this stuff early and staying on top of these screenings, having a good relationship with your doctor. And hopefully you have a doctor who is telling you to do these things.
Right. And don't play. Google is not a doctor. So
neither is TikTok.
Do not Google your symptoms. I'm telling you, it'll scare you and it'll have you eating ice chips. And I'm telling you right now, do not Google your symptoms because we good for it. I mean, I even look at Google, pretty much for a lot of information. But when it comes to your health, I would not recommend that. Like, let a physician tell you these things and, give you the diagnosis if it is. And don't ignore things. If you're getting a lot of headaches or pain in certain areas, it's a reason. So don't try to be your own remedy specialist.
Come through, street practitioner. Yeah. Tell them.
I mean, I'm learning because even with her, when I read her article, she said that she was experiencing some type of pain,
chest pain.
Yeah, and she ignored it.
Yeah,
like sorry. It was, we always find an excuse for or make up for a reason why something is wrong or why we getting consecutive headaches. And if you're getting consecutive headaches, that could lead to a brain aneurysm. So you have to be on point. And don't ignore it, especially when you get a certain age. So, especially when things start to hurt or things go wrong at a certain age, it's something wrong.
Yeah.
Something wrong,
yeah.
Especially if it's continuously happening and you can't direct where the pain is really coming from or remember why or reason or whatever. It's probably something going on there.
So get it checked out. Don't ignore it because nothing else is going to matter if we are not here, if we are not healthy. Like all the other things we running around and doing is just going to is pointless.
Right.
Because if you can't get up and walk and do it, or if you in the hospital for 2 or 3 weeks, like none of the other stuff matters. Your health is number one. We got to start taking it more seriously. And we can't wait till we have a problem. We have to work on it when there's no problem and keep it at no problem. And that's how you win. That is how you win.
Right.
Just want to remind you all again to save the date. November 11th is the Healthier You Conference. We're going to do a prostate thing there. We're going to talk about prostate because I just can't believe how y'all, like your whole body language changed.
Oh, yeah.
It was just,
I got defensive, Doc. It's all right.
All right, so we're going to do a prostate thing at the conference for sure. Save the date, November 11th. It is free to the public. You're going to have to register in advance so we can have all your information. We're taking lunch orders. Like, we need to know and we need to have a good count. So registration will open in a couple of weeks, and I'll make sure that you all know. Remember, COVID is out there. A lot of people are getting COVID, so it's not a bad idea to put a mask on. You do not have to wait for your job or the government to tell you to put a mask on. When you out in the public, especially in a crowded place, just pop one on real quick. Protect you, protect yourself, and consider getting the updated COVID vaccine. It's the new vaccine that came out last week. It's not easy to find, I'm hearing, which is a little disappointing because when the first vaccines came out, they was out.
Right.
But this one, now it's not through the government. It's coming from the drug companies and insurance companies, and so the process is different and it's a little messy. So I know you can go to Springfield Pharmacy and get the updated COVID booster. I'm not sure who else has it, but if you're in Delaware County, Springfield Pharmacy has it now. And I think that's it. I think y'all should just tune back in next week and see what we got going on in terms of health and wellness and making sure y'all good right here Thursdays at 4:30.
Let's go, Doc. Let's keep it 100.
Let's do that. Now we ain't gonna be able to end this show because Pete done left, so now I gotta stare at the computer for another half hour.
I'm just gonna have to delete the footage, I guess.
All right, y'all can just like click off of this now.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. All right, let me go hit a button.
All right. I guess that